Welcome, everyone, to Lord of the Rings Online, day 48 of 365. When I initially started this challenge, I did not anticipate it becoming all Lord of the Rings Online. When I started this challenge, I thought it was going to be Path of Exile 2, with a little bit of Lord of the Rings Online sprinkled in, as well as some other games sprinkled in, like Dota and so on. But Middle Earth has a way of pulling you in. And now this challenge is basically Lord of the Rings Online all the time. So here we are on day 48 of 365. And yesterday we finished off, well, we didn't really finish anything off. We hit level 35. We ended up starting some of the quests in Anuminas, or Evendim as it's also known. And as a result, now we are, working towards forging the blade Narsil for Aragorn. We got what's his name? Elrond's blessing to that effect. He said that we should reforge it. It's now time. So now we are in Evendim. I am on Bruinen, leveling up a bit, killing these worms because they give me a deed, and I want to make sure that the deed tracker is on. So I also downloaded this plugin. This is the deed tracker. Basically, you can fill in which deeds you've already completed, and as a result, they show up there, and any deeds that you continue to complete, they'll pop in here. It also tells you how much virtue experience there is, how many LOTRO coins or points there are for you to claim based off of the deeds that you can do. So you could do this multiple times on multiple characters and essentially play the game for free forever, as long as you're doing all the deeds and so on. So it's perfect for those individuals that don't have a subscription and don't have lifetime. So I would highly recommend getting that plugin. And if you guys want me to do a deep dive on the plugins or a video related to that, let me know. And I'll definitely pull that out and put that out there. Salamanders? Why would you ask me about salamanders? Me of all people? Why should a poor wandering lore master like Humphrey Rumming know anything of them? Why? I don't even know what a salamander is. Never heard of them before. Classic deflection. This guy is a liar. I am very certain that he's going to be a problem. Ha! Got you there. Okay, never mind. You thought the whole thing was Humphrey Rumming's fault, didn't you? Didn't you? But now you know I know nothing at all. Not about Salamander. Okay, I know it's your fault. Tell me what you know. Wait a minute, that doesn't make sense. Who would say such a thing? Humphrey Rumming is a great lore master, you know. I know all the lore there is, so I must know something about salamanders. But what? That's the question, and a good question it is, too. I'll have to select one. Please, Atlas.
Can I have a word with you?
Yeah, yes. Naturally, I know all about the salamanders. I'm a great lore master, am I not? Or am I? Ha, little joke there. Of course I am. All the wise know the name of Humphrey Rumming, but I can't divulge the great secrets of lore to just anyone. Can I? No, not at all. And how can Humphrey Rumming tell if you're worthy? How indeed? Let's try a bit of a challenge, shall we? I have hidden a number of chests all about this island. One of them contains the answer to my riddle. Take this key, but beware. It can only be used once. Here's the riddle. Fluttering shreds, rent from the fabric of night. Fell shrieking beasts that shun the sun's light. Dwelling in the darkness, they fly hidden from sight. Clouds obscure the stars when first they take flight. It's not easy, is it? Oh no, but if you can explore this island from top to bottom, from bottom to top, you are sure to find a solution. I'm pretty sure I can find a solution relatively quickly. You're talking about bats.
Would you do something for me?
I know Humphrey thinks this is all manageable, but the situation has become dire. That should be clear to anyone. We need to reduce the number of salamanders roaming around here. Indeed, they are an evil breed of draconic nature. Very little of the natural fauna remains. A few turtles on the northern shore, and that is all. The salamanders have nearly devastated everything else. Grant me a favor and drive off a few of the beasts. Hopefully, that will reduce their number enough to allow the natural fauna to return. I can definitely do that, friend. I will do that, and I will do my best to do that. Alright, here we are. I think these guys are a deed. I don't know if the lake skimmers are a deed. I'm not sure. So yeah, last night's stream we did do some No Man's Sky as well. I don't think I'm going to do that again. I kind of want to level up a bit more. So my focus is to level up now and get to my legendary item, which is at 45. I think I can get it. So I'm going to head over to Erebor and head towards the Mines of Moria at that point. And then I will want to do the book quests as well. I'm gonna try. Hello all. For the legendary item, I can head to Erebor at 40. And just get to Moria, Gates of Moria. For 45, right? It's been a while, so not sure. Oh, I hate it when they go underground. Oh, it died. Nice. Oops. Sorry. Yes. Aragian. Okay, so I need to head to Aragian at 40. So I gotta do some leveling up soon. I think we can finish most of Evendim. Maybe get Kindred. I would like to have my chestnut horse. Aragian. Who's that? Oh, at the gates? He's probably like further out. Good evening, TC. How are you doing, sir? Hope everything went well. How was your day? So yeah, today my goal is to finish Evendim. I'm going to try to level up a bit, hit like 38 here, and then I'm going to head over to Aragian. I think that's a good way to do it. So I can start getting my legendary item early. Yeah, same here. Working kids, basically. Same jazz. A nice relaxing day, not too bad. Where's his riddle? Oh, Leatherthorn branches. I can get these, right? Where is his riddle? Okay, so it's like around here. I think it's near a cave over here from what I remember. It's supposed to be the bat chest, right? Like the chest with the bat. Chest of the Hendraveil. It's not that one. I think it's the chest of the bat, which is over here. I can't believe I remember this quest. I honestly can't believe it, because like my memory from this is like it's crazy how your brain works. It's definitely not the links. It's the it's this one. I think this is the bat, right? No, that's the warg. I'm gonna go turn this in first quickly. I should almost be done my deed. The initial one. And did you get actually I've been meaning to ask you for the last few days, have you had a chance to work on your engine, or is it just on the weekends that you do it?
What do you need?
I know you defeated a number of them, but I think you're right. I do not believe it made a difference either. Alright. I have to solve his chest thing, otherwise he's never going to tell me about the matriarch and the patriarch in there. I think I have to kill them as well. Ah, nice, okay. And in terms of functionality, what are you able to do with it already? I ask because I have some interest in game dev, although I don't know how to code, so I've been using like the blueprint system, fiddling with it in Unreal here and there. It should be over here. I'm pretty sure the bat one is over on this side. So a lot of that does not make any sense to me. I don't want to pretend that I know more than I do, so I'm just going to say it outright. The Lua files, are those like the game files? And I'm not gonna hold myself out to be, you know, proficient at this. Like I mentioned, I only know blueprints and that even very badly. Ah, okay, so it's like a compression. It's kind of like ini files, right? Like I think those are the same. Not ini, sorry. When you're doing modding, you have to extract from those files. It's like that, right? And Geomax, welcome to the channel. Thank you for the follow. How are you doing today? Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for following. Thanks for chatting. Glad that you're enjoying it. I hope I can make it better as time progresses. That's the goal anyway. So yeah. Definitely bring your friends if they are into watching LOTRO and other games. Sure. Maybe in the future, and right now I feel like Discord's going out. It's on its way out, especially considering their recent I don't know if you heard, but they want everyone to do facial ID basically. So I might even scrap Discord as a tool that I use these days. Okay, so Lua is like the blueprint. So it basically tells the C++ or C# to do what to do. It's a visual language, is what you're saying. Or I guess that would be one way to describe it. And also Geomax, quick question, and I'm gonna ask you because I don't want to be like straight up with you. Are you trying to sell something? Because I've had a lot of people ask me to add them on Discord at the get-go, and also mention friends and so on. It's not the hawk. So if you are expecting me to purchase something, or if you do artwork and so on, that's not something I would like. So I appreciate you following, but I just want to let you know right out the gate. can appreciate the hustle if that's the case, but yeah. Okay, so text-based. I have not seen Love 2D. Where's the hawk chest? Or sorry, the bat chest. It's around here somewhere. I remember. Not here. Are these dead? No, they're alive. Okay, let's see. Any chests over here? Oh, where is this stupid bat? I definitely know it's a bat chest. If I'm pretty sure that's the one. I just don't remember where it is. Hey, Frontward, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How are you doing today, sir? Treasure cache. What's this? Oh, you need to be level 90 to pick this up? That's a high level. Do you remember where the bat chest is on this island? I can't remember where it is. I thought I remembered. I thought it was on this side, but it doesn't seem like that's the case. Okay. Crawler. Oh wow. 2 mile walk. Yeah, I mean, you gotta basically go to a pool or something to relax after something like that, especially if you have arthritis, to let the load off the joints. I heard that's like the biggest thing for arthritis is like pool and hot tub, because going to the pool basically relieves a lot of the tension from your joints, because buoyancy basically makes them not use much energy or any force or anything like that, so it loosens them up and makes them nice and relaxed. So I would highly recommend that. The main reason I say this is because my mom has arthritis and her going to the pool helped a lot. Chest of the Dragon, that's not right either. I'm pretty sure it's the... What was his riddle again? Let's see. Fluttering shreds run from the fabric of night, fell shrieking beasts that shun the sun. Yeah, it's definitely bats. Oh yeah, that would be essentially the same. Exactly. Levithorn branches. She knows what's up. Where's the chest of the bat? Is it on the island over there? It might be on that island, actually. Like that mini island. I remember it being around here somewhere. Alright, see you in a few TC. Okay, I'm gonna go across. I'm pretty sure it's over here. Door firing. Chest of the Worm. That's not the right one either. Did not need to come over here. Should I open it? No, don't open it. So it says I have one key, right? Yeah, I don't want to break it because then I'll have to go back to him. Get another one. Pretty sure it's the chest of the bat. And then he's gonna get me to destroy eggs too, I think I remember. Where are you, chest of the bat? Nothing out here. Am I wrong in this? Look at that. Rumming's ridiculous requests. Rumming's ridiculous requests. Rumming's ridiculous requests. Okay. Thought so. It is the bat. So the bat is right over here somewhere. I just needed to know where it was. Oh, nice. Have you decided on what your first video is going to be? That's a Drake, though. Where's the bat? Not the Drake. Oh, come on. Mixing in the dash and the radio. Okay, nice. That's the Drake. Warg. Did they change this quest or something? Because isn't the bat supposed to be here? Alright, that's what I thought. Oh, there it is. God, it's so like annoying. It's all the way at the bottom there. I remembered it being over here. I was pretty sure it was. The next one's probably going to be Wolf or Drake or something. Let's see. Inspect. You should be in Moria. You should be in Moria by 50 latest. Book 12. That doesn't make sense.
Oh dear.
Huh, fool. That's the wrong token. I should have known you were no low master. Oh wait, that's the right one, isn't it? Bah, just luck. Beginner's luck. Fool's luck. I won't tell you my dreadful secret at all now. Well, not that Humphrey Rumming has a dreadful secret, you know. It's just that if I did, I wouldn't tell you. You see?
Please, stay a moment.
Okay, this is the Warg.
Stay a moment.
Okay, I want to smash their eggs. Cool. Let's do that at the same time. We should level here, but I don't want to. I don't know if I want to level. But I think I need to equip this while I'm killing mobs, and then I should only get the quest XP. I think that's the way I need to do it. Where's the warg? It's over here, right? That's the links. Welcome back, TC. I'm gonna read this quest again because I feel like foul great beasts with sharpened claws, black furred pelts, and fangs mod. Coursing the woods to take their prey, torment their victim, at least to slay. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's gonna be a warg, right? Not a lynx. Lynx, warg, I think was over here. No. Salamander eggs, salamander eggs. Sure, let's Ow. Burning. Somebody destroying these eggs? Nope, not that one. Let's go with that one. Oh, it's already dead. Did not expect that. I thought it was gonna live a little longer. I think that was the Drake up there, so I don't need that one. Just to the Henderville. Dwarf iron deposit. Gotta figure out. It's the. I'm pretty sure it's the warg. I think I saw the warg over here. Henderville. That's not bad. Lynx, warg. I think it was over here, the warg. Ah, there it is. I think this is the right one, right? Can't be anything else, I don't think. To see if we are correct. Ooh, that's very nice. Looking for fellowship. That is very nice. Bah, the rules too easy, even Shark off. Well, anyway, the point is Humphrey's Rumming secrets are not for you. You have no conception of the magnitude of my wisdom. The terrible secret the Salamanders are not yours.
Oh, I don't know if you can help me.
Oops, I forgot to get the XP. Alright. One more little riddle. That's a nice outfit though. Very elvish looking. Down to account. And it looks nice. And it looks nice. One more riddle. This one will truly challenge you. Lesser get of our... Okay, so this is the Salamanders. What's the final quest?
Might I take a moment of your time?
Sure, I'll kill some lake skimmers for you. That's one. There's so many. I don't need to kill salamanders. I need to kill lake skimmers. There's one. I don't need to kill these guys, but I do need to kill a few of them to clear my way through. Oh, that's the Salamander Slayer. Now we're gonna do Salamander Slayer Advanced. Maybe I should be killing these guys. Worm, yep, this is it. Need more eggs too. Alright, let's go back. Salamander eggs. Rich platinum deposit, nice. I feel bad killing their babies, but it is what it is. They've taken over the island. There we go. Luckily, these are all nearby. Makes it easier to kill them. Potato. As soon as I hit them with the barbed arrow, I know I don't need to do much else because they're gonna die. Just need to hit them with one penetrating shot and it's over. That's why I like this red line so much. These drakes would have taken me longer to kill otherwise.
You startled me.
Well, I suppose you think you won? Well, you haven't won. Not by a long shot. You'll never beat me. Not Humphrey Rumming, no. Oh, yes, right. The Salamanders. I had forgotten. Well, since you acknowledge my greatness and my preeminence amongst all lore masters, I suppose it would be alright to share my secret, since you have proven yourself worthy. Barely not at 1,000 million. Could have solved this riddle, see. So now listen closely.
Will you help me?
It happened like this. As one of the world's greatest lore masters, I happened to be doing some research on the ruins of Trollshaws. It seems that the last owner was a great warrior, and he took a number of trophies from the Angmarum at the Battle of Fordost. Those trophies included a pair of eggs. Such little eggs, too. Well, naturally, it was a challenge to see if they could be quickened after all these generations. You can imagine my pride when they hatched. Cute little salamanders, tiny little Fs they seemed. Truly learned lore masters called them Fs, you know. I encourage you to do the same. But these little elves, they would not stop growing, and so they began to grow hostile. And after that came the fire. The things breed so fast. I managed to pen the original diamond sire in the cellar in the ruins here. Since then, well, I've been trapped. I mean, I've been studying them, yes, but now you've come. You can kill them. You're a hero, aren't you, right? Here, take this key. Slay the dam and the sire. The other salamanders breed much more slowly. Now that you know the terrible secret of the salamanders, it's up to you to stop them. Alright. Let's go kill the dame and the sire. Da-da. Da-da. Aw, I feel bad. I kind of don't want to kill them. They're just animals. It's not their fault. Sorry. I didn't mean, like, I wish I didn't have to do this. I really wish I didn't have to do this. This island was basically a Komodo Island clone. If they'd crossed over somewhere else, I would have been in trouble, though. So I guess it had to be done.
I don't know anything, I'm sure.
Oh, you killed them. Poor things. I mean, well, perhaps there's a bit more to study here after all. Anyway, you've done a great deed here and helped the pursuit of knowledge immensely. Immensely, I say, of course. It was nothing I couldn't have handled myself. It was just letting you learn a little yourself. Go talk to the rangers on the island far to the east and tell them that I'm very displeased with their handling of the salamander problem. Great Lord Master can only do so much, and at some point, the rangers should have stepped in. Now, give me my key. Dude. You are living in a fantasy world. Admit and realize that you are inept. Alright, that's 9 of 12. Almost there. 10, 2 more to go. And then I gotta do the eggs. One more to go. Nope. Yes. Goodbye. I need to find the eggs. I know there were a few there. I know there's some on the other side. Yeah, I'll just talk to him and then go to the other side.
What can I do for you?
I agree that it's probably all in my head and in no way possible. Especially now that I think about the size of Lake Skimmer and the size of Salamander, but I think you're entertaining me. Thank you for entertaining me. Forgotten text. I cannot get that because I am not a scholar. Alright. Alright. Lebathron branches. Here we are. Alright. You first. You second. You third. You wanted in on this action. Good morning, Silver. How are you doing, sir? Hope you had a good night. 5, 6, 7, 8. I'll need 4 more. Welcome to the stream. We are going to finish Illuminus today and head on over to Aragian to get our legendary item in the next few days. Nice. I don't know why it does that every time. I need eggs. Branches are over there. Oh, what is that? What is that? What is this? Huh? What's this orc statue doing here? No, it's not an orc statue, it's like a statue. Not sure what that is. Great. And have you been progressing with the build for PoE 2? Let me know how that's going. I'll live vicariously through you when it comes to PoE 2 for the time being. Oh, come on. I just feel bad killing all these salamanders and destroying their eggs. Feels kind of not like an elvish thing to do. Because they haven't really caused anyone harm. I guess not yet, but still. One more egg. There we go.
What do you need?
I can still see a fleck of shell in your hair. This plan will take a while to resolve, as we've not done anything to the current spawning of salamanders, but hopefully as they're driven out and none of replace them, we can reclaim the island. So that's done. Let's see, what do we have available? Even then, we've got the terrible secret of the salamanders. More marker. I don't like this one. Treasure. I don't really need to do Fornost. Cancel this one. Destination Evendim. Hobart is North Broken Bearings. North Downs. What's this? The road to the Lonely Island. Not Lonely Island, Lonely Mountain. Trying to level your mark to 79 so I can equip the crossbow, which I have. Oh nice, so it gives you an extra ballista? Uber keeps sending me emails like your Uber account's gonna get deleted if you don't log in. I'm like, I don't care. I don't care about my Uber accounts. Where do I need to go next? So I need to go back to Tindir. Let's go. Okay, once you hit 80, that's when it's gonna get like start to get grindy, I think, right? I think 80 is around the time where the XP starts getting so much higher. And it just gets harder and harder to level. Where's this boat that's gonna take me out of here? Oh, there it is. Ugh.
Greetings.
Let's go to Tinadir. Thank you. I need to talk to... Do I need to talk to you? No, right? No. Who do I need to talk to here? Definitely not any of you. I just want to be able to start getting my rep with these guys. I think this is the quest that will do it.
What do you need?
Welcome back, Sir India. I'd begun to fear your safety. What have you learned? Indeed. An amazing story. That mad old man. It is a pity we are unable to patrol these lands better, or we should have never permitted him to go near those ruins. Maybe that these salamanders will never be fully driven from the area now, but at least we know their origin. It was Rumming said is true. It may be that your actions have slowed their spread. Thank you for that. Okay.
What can I do for you?
Which quest do I need to have done again? Entrances of Baratasir. I think those are the tombs, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's head over here. So earlier today, Lay was streaming, Lariana, and I was talking to him about just like general physics, and it was pretty interesting stuff. There's these like things that he mentioned that I didn't even know existed. Like this one effect that occurs in the quantum realm, whereas you get to a certain distance, or scale rather, something pushes against like basically against you. It's I don't know how to explain it. He explained it a lot better, but it was pretty crazy. Basically implying that you can't cross that threshold in a way. Just gonna ride up here, go to where my marker says, which is the other way it seems, which is odd. I think it's up here. Yeah, it's up here. There it is. Oh, come on. Okay, now I can do it in peace. Nah, bruh. I need to defeat Elk here? That's a hind. That's a hind. That's a heart. I don't know what this will do, but let's see. Oh yeah, it is. Alright, see you in 10 silver. I'm starting to get tired. I need to wake up. I worked a little extra today, that's why I'm a little more tired. But I'm gonna push through. I'm gonna get my second wind. Let's go. Okay, tear down Ivy. Oh yeah, it's right here. Tear that down. One. More vines. Can I go in here? No. Yeah, I need to eat some sugar. I will be right back. I'm gonna grab some Haribo. But then I'm gonna have another sugar crash after that, which is gonna be annoying. Alright, okay. Give me a second here. After I grab this last one. What? That didn't count? That Ivy didn't count? That's surprising. What the heck? Somebody just like swearing in the chat for fun? I don't get it. There's one more. There's another one. Where are the vines or ivy? You branches. Ivy's on this side. I can't believe I just ran out of there. I did not know where I was going. Okay, let's get this one. Oh, come on. Give me my focus. There we go. ivy. Where is this ivy? Ancient tapestry. Can I pick that up? I can. Did I not pick it up yet? Didn't. Let's pick it up. Pick it up. I don't really care for this script one. Basically, you have to find more of them, 8 of them to be exact. I don't really want to do that. Alright, I know I said I would go grab something to eat. I will be right back. Alright, I'm back. It definitely woke me up. Thank you for the great suggestion. Frontward. I don't know which other vines I'm supposed to get. There's one more left, I guess. What the? Why am I so slow? Oh. Is this one? Come on, where is it? There it is. Mean you no harm, elk. Okay, is that a... Okay. The next estate within the fields is Thamvaran. It is a place where... It's a place we know little about. The records we have found only describe its name. It is an enigma indeed. The only thing I know is that the tomb robbers have been swarming over it as of late. Given our focus elsewhere, it has been ripe for the picking, and they have slowly stripped out any valuable information we could find to glean its identity. It is not enough that we battle nature and time as enemies to our history. We have to deal with greedy robbers who want to deny us our past and identity. It cannot be tolerated. Alright. Well, let's go. Is that man or whatever it is? Thumbaran. I don't know what this arrow does. It definitely does more damage than these guys. Okay, actually no. Definitely does a lot. Maybe I should incorporate it here. Yeah, that's pretty good. And its induction time is not that long. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna keep it as is. Oh, these guys give me pristine hide. Okay. Do I need to kill Bill Tripper? Probably not yet, but whatever. I killed Bill. Don't attack me, Har. Alright, this guy's just chilling over here. Rude awakening. Okay, that's done. I need to kill one more, right? It looks very similar to the other one, except for this giant pool area. Oh, what? Not me to do that. Okay, so now where do I need to go? I need to turn these in. Oh, I should kill one more tomb robber before I go. Okay, there's one. Where's Parcel and Duel? I don't know if it'll work. Oh. I've been making a habit to use blindside a lot more. There we go. Okay. You turn a blind eye to a corner of this region for just a moment and something momentous happens that you missed. Somehow, with all of our focus on the Tomb Raiders and Brigands in the south, a scout force from Angmar has slipped into one of our ruins. This is a disaster for us on several fronts. Something here is of enough value for Angmar to send a force to find it. Something that we do not yet know for ourselves. Bill, why are you here? That worked out. This is stuff for us on several fronts. Something here is enough of value. Okay. If you were to find this thing, it could turn the tide of war. Not to mention what could happen if they find the refuge of Trinity. If they use the knowledge to somehow find Estelden, I cannot entertain those thoughts. I am eating Haribo, the Star Mix. So I've got a heart that I'm eating right now. And there's it's got some gummies in there as well. So it's like some gummy bears. Just trying to eat one every time I start feeling a little sleepy. We must drive them out, and we must sow confusion amongst those who remain. Their plans have been tacked to the walls of the ruins. If their numbers are thinned and their plans destroyed, perhaps we will send a greater chest. Alright. Batman. Let's see what the reputation looks like now. I'm still not a friend. Sucks. I was hoping I'd be close to friend by now. Or, at the very least, like, getting close to it. I was so tempted to mine that node. Where are you at? There it is. It's a success. Let's go this way. Oh, the Angmarians are here. Should I do Heartseeker on him? Probably not. It's just a low-level grunt. That was close. My teeth missed the candy as I was about to put a lot of force into them. Luckily, pulled back. There we go. 2 more after this guy. I don't know how I ended up there. But it is what it is. Yes. This one's not bad. I don't know why I'm checking my cosmetics while running, but it is what it is. What do I need to do here? I'm gonna have to. Okay, I have an idea. Nice. Looking into the satchel, you see several documents written in the black speech. You cannot read what they say, but believe if you brought them to the Rangers of Tinadir, they may be able to translate them. Alright, let's go. Kill a few. Ingram. Come here. What are these? Okay. I can't see him. There we go. Okay, got that guy. Nice. We're friends. Tam Andalath was the ancient home of a great smith, one who made the weapons for the line of kings themselves. While most of his work has been lost to history, his influence is seen in every blade we wield. Goblins now camp within the walls of the ruins. Foul and wicked creatures. They are more clever than I often give them credit, for I'm very divisive, or devious. However, if done correctly, one can trick them into believing something much larger is going on around them and frighten them into a panic. Night and day, the flames of Thar Andalath are constantly burning. The goblins never let them go out. They must fear the darkness and believe something out there will get them. The fires are not lit. If we were able to be both the quencher of those flames and the object of the terror in the darkness, the goblins would flee from the ruins with great haste. Once they're gone, another part of our history falls back within our hands. Interesting. Please, guys, leave me alone. Okay. This is far. Where am I even going? Alright. Is this the goblins? Yes, it is. We made it. June's Journey? What's June's Journey? Is it a game? Sorry, I'm like trying to wake up, but I'm not fully there yet. Once I get to that point, I'll be able to... okay, close. I don't really need to use them right away. Let's extinguish this one. Oh, when you die. Took so long. Four more to go. I'm gonna self-redeem a hydrate. Let's turn this fire off. June's Journey. Look it up. Well, it's kind of like Carmen San Diego. It's like Victorian style. Looks like Carmen San Diego though. Okay, we're gonna have to talk about this after this. I'm gonna oh my god. Okay. Okay, after we kill these guys, I'm gonna do there's a video that Kira just released on Steven Sharif and the Ashes files. We're gonna watch that together, guys. I'm gonna switch the category over to Ashes on Twitch. Ashes of Creation. Okay, I'm gonna put category stream manager. Okay, there we go. So we're going to be talking about that in a sec here. I just updated the stream title and everything. I'm going to do the same for the YouTube in a sec here. Alright, it looks like it's juicy. So let's dive in a moment here. Looking forward to diving into this Ashes drama more. It's like watching a train wreck happen, you know? It's like happening in front of your eyes. You can't help but look. This is like one of the few things I'm really glad I never ended up doing. I was so close to buying the alpha and the beta key multiple times. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about that in a sec here. Need to put out two more fires. And frontward, I think this is gonna be entertaining. So if you are, you know, if you've been following Ashes, have you been following Ashes of Creation at all, frontward? And anyone else watching on Twitch already? If you have been following it, let me know. I don't need to kill those boggarts. I need to do one more fire. Those are all done. That's all done. Is there any other fire out here? Ornamental blade. I need to get that. That might be a quest. Okay. So I'm going to give you a brief overview. Basically, it's a Kickstarter MMO that was one of the most anticipated MMOs of the current era. And it was headed by a character named Steven Sharif, who turned out... Oh, I don't want to do this. This is like kind of... How many are there? There are probably a few. And he basically, it seems like, stole all the money. And ran. Well, not ran, but like, walked away and canceled the entire project. The studio went defunct. And then people found out that he had... okay, so one of the key pieces of this is he had told everybody that he was using his own money to develop the game, and that the game was going to be ready soon. Or, well, it was like 10 years ago he said it's going to be ready soon, and did a Kickstarter, got 3 million from it. He already had loans of up to 2 million from people. Eventually, like, people found out there's even more than the 2 mil. There's like an additional like 12-13 mil that he had from other people. And he was part of an MLM with his family before that. MLM, for anyone not aware, is a multi-level marketing company. Basically, think pyramid scheme. Just rebranded as a less severe sounding thing. So yeah, so that's the kind of stuff that happened. And now, there's a new video that I just saw Kira talking about it on his channel. So I'm gonna pull that up in a sec here. Once I can find... Oh, there's... Okay, this is lit again. Can I turn it off again? Can I? No, this one doesn't turn off. They're all lit. I can't turn them off though. How am I supposed to extinguish the last campfire if it doesn't exist? Gold deposit, yes please. Okay, maybe I can get out this way. No. Can't jump high enough. I'm just gonna run through these two. Here's the last one. There we go. Got it. Alright, there we go. That's done. Now we can get out of here. Okay, nice. The goblins have fled. Welcome back, Silver. There's more Ashes drama that we're going to cover in a sec here. Just waiting on myself to jump into it. This is going to be interesting. The Steven files apparently have been released according to Kira. I want to watch that video together while discussing it. Because watching it alone is like, can't talk to anyone. So this way I can talk to you guys at the same time. Makes for great content. That's the other aspect. Which reminds me, I gotta make some videos for the YouTube channel soon. Oh, I want that horse. Oh, no, not that one. I want the chestnut horse. So after we turn these in, we should be good to go and watch that video.
What can I do for you?
Interesting. It will take some time to go through this, as I can sense evil on most of the documents, and it's all written in the tongue of the enemy. Cool. That's done. Now the last one was... I'm going to turn that into... Orkalway at Tinadiro. It's this guy. Okay.
What can I do for you?
The estates within the Twilight Fields are now within our control. There is still some work to do at Tharnornan, but I believe we can now handle the situation that remains. You've done great work for us. Perhaps one day my blade will join with yours and we will stand before our enemies together. Yes, indeed. Boots of true aim, yes. 15 agility. Yeah, definitely getting those bad boys.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Torogathir's charge. 16 by... Okay, this is pretty nice. It doesn't look that good, but it's a nice cloak. Or in terms of like the damage output and everything. Alright, let's see what he says. The estates are back in order, and while there is still much to do within them, that is work we can handle ourselves over time. The Twilight Fields are not yet safe, however. There still remains Ostherren. Together, Torogathir is charged with watching over his ruined fortress, and while he may be able to do some work to prevent the problems there from growing, he has not had the time nor support to solve them. Follow the road east towards the North Downs. You will find Torogathir on a small hill north of the road above the ruins of Ostherren. 8 vitality, 14 agility. That's the runners. What's this item set? It's not good. Where's the... Okay, these guys. Armor of true aim. Boots, pauldrons, helm, jacket, leggings. There we go. Alright, I shall do that. Any other quests that you got for me?
Stay a moment.
I don't want to talk to him in the Trollshaws, Refuge of
Could
the
I
Elves.
speak with you a moment?
Elrond I can talk to, but not right now. Alright, so now let's take a look at this thing. Alright, where is it? There it is, and I'm gonna pull it up in a sec here. let's check it out. What? Oh, that's not what I want. I want this. Okay, here we go. I think I should be able to see it. Alright, here we go. Ready?
Nina can't code.
Interesting.
Okay, well, friendos, welcome back. As you can see in front of me, the Steven Sharif files. This is the lawsuit of Steven versus the board, the shadow board, right? That nobody knew existed until
speed this up
at
so
least
it's a little
internally to the
faster.
company in November of 2025. These have been around since 2024 as a board officially, and obviously at this point we basically have a bunch of sides of this story, apart from Steven's side and some other investors and stuff that, you know, may or may not come out at some point. But we've had the employee side where they were obviously notified that the company was basically fucked, and they've also filed their own lawsuit because they're owed wages that have not been paid, and PTO and severance and things like that for their wrongful dismissal under the Warren Act in California. And then we also have Robert Dawson's side, in a way, through his TFE Game Holdings company, is a lawsuit in Nevada State Court against Steven Sharif, which alleges that Steven and his husband embezzled tens of millions of dollars from the company. And then, of course, we have Jason Karamanis, who has been an investor in the company since, you know, like 10 years ago or something, where he's released a bunch of text messages and made a bunch of claims that he has evidence that's going to come out eventually that shows that Steven Sharif has done X, Y, and Z. And there are a bunch of videos going over these allegations and things that have been made public. This is the first time we've seen Steven's side of the story, and this is a lawsuit with 52 pages that has been filed in the federal court, Southern District of California. I'm going to go over this in its entirety. I'm going to skip certain sections that just give you like background information that we already know, like who is Steven, you know, what is the video game, stuff that nobody really cares about. And obviously there are going to be videos that pop up after this and probably mainstream game articles that go over just the broad bullet points. Some of the bullet points I can give you straight away is that if any of this is proven true, it's fucking nuts. I've been saying this the whole time. I've been saying since day one. Once all the sides of the story of this come out, you're going to see some insane claims. There's obviously already crazy claims in the public, but some of the crazy claims that are in here are that the board essentially used coercion and threats of physical violence to take over the company in order to profit wholly from the company and essentially...
I don't know why it's
Okay,
giving
well,
me
friendos,
all
welcome
these,
back.
like,
As you can see in front of me, the
artifacts.
Steven Sharif files. This is the lawsuit of Steven versus the board, the shadow board, right? That nobody knew existed until that shows that Steven Sharif has done violence to take over the company in order to profit wholly from the company and essentially kick Steven out and take control completely. And there's some crazy shit in here. So yeah, let's begin. The lawsuit seeks to stop Intrepid's rogue board of directors from intentionally destroying the company, including through layoffs of nearly its entire workforce. Through manufactured crisis and through bad faith foreclosures on secured loans, the board defendants intentionally sabotage Intrepid to steal its assets, including its most valuable assets, which is the video game. The video game was developed under the leadership of plaintiff Steven Sharif, shareholder in Intrepid, visionary founder, creator of MMORPG Ashes of Coercion. Steven has dedicated more than a decade to developing Ashes of Coercion, including its world, lore, gameplay systems, etc. The gaming community has been anxiously anticipating the full release of Ashes of Coercion for years. Yeah, it's been a long time.
I don't know why it keeps glitching out like that. That's weird. Like, do you see that? Like, it keeps glitching out.
Unsecured loans. The board defendants intentionally sabotage Intrepid to steal its assets, including its most valuable assets, which is the video game. The video game was developed under the leadership of plaintiff Steven Sharif, shareholder in Intrepid, visionary founder, creator of MMORPG Ashes of Coercion. Steven has dedicated more than a decade to developing Ashes of Coercion, including its world, lore, gameplay systems, etc. The gaming community has been anxiously anticipating the full release of Ashes of Coercion for years. Yeah, it's been a long time, and I'm sure some people have been very anxious. Defendants well understood that the success or failure of Ashes of Coercion will be exceedingly public and personal to Steven. They also understood that its success would be
If you have one of these, your home's ready.
Yeah, I'm not gonna watch it because it's like it's too annoying. I can't deal with the artifacting. Maybe I'll just pull up the lawsuit and do it myself. I'm just gonna pull up the lawsuit myself, and then we'll just go over it and read it ourselves. Okay, let's see. Filed. I'm just reading something real quick here. Interesting. Okay, so I got a few pages that I need to organize here. Just bear with me. Quickly go here. Okay, so this is the lawsuit. Alright, cool. Got it. Alright. So I think I've got those two. All right, this is going to be convoluted because I'm trying to figure it out quickly before I dive in. All right, guys. So it's going to be a little convoluted. All right. Let's dive in though. Let me just update my YouTube title as well. Because it's going to be interesting. YouTube content. Steven Sharif's response to Ash's drama. I gotta add Ashes of Creation as like a tag here. Of Creation, latest news, Ashes of Creation. Okay, there we go. That should help with that. All right, so I'm gonna close this. I'm gonna close this, and I am going to open this. All right, so this is the lawsuit, and we're gonna dive into it right now. So this was filed on February 14th. Let's zoom in. So it was filed on behalf of Steven Sharif, who's the plaintiff, as an individual, and derivatively on behalf of Intrepid Studios. So he's filing it on behalf of himself and Intrepid against Robert Dawson, Ryan Odkin, Teresa Fett, Aaron Bartels, and TFE Games Holding LLC as the defendants, and as Intrepid Studios as the nominal defendant. Okay, so the reason for Intrepid being part of both the plaintiff side of things and the defendant side of things is because near the end of the saga, from what we know, the board that existed took over Intrepid, and Steven and everyone else basically left. So his version of events has always been that he was not able to handle the unethical actions of the board, and that's why he left. And let's see what this lawsuit alleges. So plaintiff Steven Sharif, an individual, on behalf of himself and separately on behalf of all other shareholders of Intrepid Studios, collectively the derivative plaintiffs, by his undersigned counsel, alleges as follows. Hey Piero, are you sure? I haven't read this yet. Have you looked into the whole suit? Welcome to the stream, by the way. Welcome to the channel. And it alleges as follows: against Intrepid Studios Inc., Intrepid or the company, Robert Dawson, Ryan Ogden, Teresa Fett and Aaron Bartels, and TFE Games Holdings LLC. The nature of the action. So let's see what he says. This lawsuit seeks to stop Intrepid's rogue board of directors from intentionally destroying the company. Okay, I'm excited to... Please let me know if I'm way off base in what I assess it to be as I go through it, or what your thoughts were on any given point. I'd be very excited to hear that. So intentionally destroying the company, including through layoffs of nearly its entire workforce, through manufactured crises, and through bad faith foreclosures on secured loans. This is an interesting point. Bad faith foreclosures on secured loans. Because didn't he, according to the other guys, embezzle the funds? So, okay, we'll get into it. The board defendants intentionally sabotaged Intrepid to steal its assets, including its most valuable assets, its intellectual property, and trade secrets. That intellectual property was developed under the leadership of plaintiff Steven Sharif, a shareholder in Intrepid, its visionary founder and creator of the MMORPG Ashes of Creation. Plaintiff has dedicated more than a decade to developing Ashes of Creation, including its world, lore, gameplay systems, software architecture, and proprietary development tools. The gaming community has been anxiously anticipating the full release of Ashes of Creation for years. Defendants well understood that the success or failure of Ashes of Creation would be exceedingly public and personal to plaintiff. They also understood that its success would be exceedingly profitable. So then why did they scuttle it? The board defendants took steps to ensure that they alone profited from its success at the expense of plaintiff, derivative plaintiffs, and Intrepid as a company. Okay, so he's basically alleging that the reason, based off of this second paragraph, that this all went down is they knew they could make a lot of money, but they wanted to make all the money at the expense of everyone else. Beginning in 2024, defendant Rob Dawson. All right, sounds good, Frontward. Have a good night, and see you tomorrow. Beginning in 2024, defendant Rob Dawson, Intrepid's principal lender. Who's Rob Dawson? Because apparently all these people are partially involved in this. Jonas, co-founder, alleges tens of millions in theft. Randy Ray, founder, CEO. So, Rob Dawson. Let's see who Rob Dawson is. Rob Dawson. Intrepid Studios. It's completely tons of people report money. I'm trying to see if I can find anything on Rob Dawson here. I know Jason Karamanis. I've seen part of Jason's interview where he talks about the message that he left Steven's mom and how he calls him like the most evil person. Oh, he's a private guy. Okay. That's the call that you're talking about, right, Piero? Like the one where he's like he left I think it was on he joined in on like a live stream and was talking about it. So Rob is okay. So Rob Dawson is the okay, so he's a private guy. Is he listed anywhere here? This is Rob Dawson, executive legal counsel. Yeah, I don't. So that's why you think Steven's full of shit. Okay, that makes sense. I mean, it's going to be very interesting in terms of discovery when this all goes down. So Rob Dawson is a legal counsel. Mr. Dawson is a licensed attorney in Nebraska who also owns controlling interest in Pathway Bank, a community bank located in Cairo, Nebraska, that he used as part of a scheme. In January 2023, Ray accuses Dawson's family members of profiting through bogus journeys distributor positions. Ray further accuses Dawson of offering him a source of money in exchange for heavily discounted value on investments. Mr. Dawson also misled Mr. Ray to purchase Mr. Dawson's interest far below its actual worth. Apparently all these people are part of this suit. So okay, I'm gonna read this as background before we get into the suit that we're about to get into, okay? So this happened in 2024, where co-founder Ogail Randall Ray, which is this guy, aka Randy Ray, has filed a lawsuit alleging tens of millions of dollars in theft. Ogail's 61-page lawsuit was filed in Seminole County, Florida on October 1st, 2024. The 37 named defendants in Ray's suits are okay. I will take a look based off of what I can glean from it. So apparently this Randy Ray guy sued all these people too. So he sued Kevin Guerre, who was a top distributor turned executive, Bailey Giguere, Austin Giguere, B&G Team, Big County Acres, VT3 LLC, Bet High LLC, KNC Enterprises, Calv Enterprises, Team Destiny LLC, Gato Grand, Brooke, Courtney, Carol, William Robert Dawson, and all these people. Okay, before we get into Ray's claims, I want to note that Ray and Wendy Lewis Wright sold Ubisoft to Core Enterprises in 2023. Nothing much happened with the business, and Ubisoft was again sold to Bill Walita in October 2024. An updated behind MLM review of Genesee is pending. I also want to get to note most prominent defendant Ray has sued is Kevin Giguere, as the top distributor before transitioning to the executive side of things. Okay. This guy looks shady. He reminds me of Horatio Sands when he used to be on SNL and playing those characters. In a nutshell, Ray, citing himself as an 83-year-old successful entrepreneur, alleges the above defendants stole millions of dollars from him. As part of his scheme, Ray alleged singles out Pamela McKinney and her CPA company, Kevin Giguere and Robert Dawson, as kingpin defendants. Robert Dawson, kingpin defendants. Okay, let's keep an eye on Robert. It seems like he seems to be doing this before as well. This action seeks to recover millions of dollars that the kingpin defendants stole from Mr. Ray and laundered into their own pockets or those of their close families, friends, or business associates. We won't really get into that. To accomplish the scheme to steal Mr. Ray's money, the kingpin and operational defendants used straw companies and individuals and network defendants to look like actual independent distributors. In reality, they were sham entities used by the kingpin and operational defendants to launder money taken from Mr. Ray. The network defendants either provided no legitimate services to the company at all, or only the most minimal services, and instead were used by kingpin defendants to funnel millions of dollars extracted from Mr. Ray throughout several years. Network defendants include a host of sham companies that were repurposed by Mrs. McKinney, as well as family members and or confidants. The kingpin defendants such as Mrs. McKinney, husband and children, Mr. Giguere's children, and Mr. Dawson's mother. Ray states that after suffering a stroke in 2018, he took a backseat to day-to-day activities. This is when the laundering of Ray's money is alleged to have begun. If this is all if this one is true, that's kind of, these people are like deplorable. He got sick, they started stealing his money. The kingpin defendants inserted themselves into Mr. Ray's life and into positions of trust and confidence to drain Mr. Ray of his personal wealth. Mr. Ray's personal accountant, Mrs. McKinney, McKinney CPA, trusted business advisors, Mr. Giguere and Mr. Dawson, and legal counsel and trustee, Mr. Dawson. Mr. Giguere was so intimately involved in Mr. Ray's life that he coordinated the purchase of Christmas gifts for Mr. Ray's family and the purchase of Mr. Ray's vehicles. To keep control of Mr. Ray and Mr. Ray, as Mr. Ray aged, Mr. Gagara purchased a home in the same neighborhood as Mr. Ray and would regularly and unexpectedly drop in on Mr. Ray at his home. With their positions of trust, Mr. Ray looked to and relied on the Kingpin defendants to guide him in virtually every aspect of his financial life. Kingpin defendants abused Mr. Ray's trust by most egregiously deceiving Mr. Ray about his exposure to criminal liability if he failed to personally and immediately infuse jeunesse with cash to cover its payroll. Relying on their representations, tens of millions of dollars were infused into jeunesse. In reality, this supposed need for payroll was a ploy by the Kingpin defendants to launder the money through jeunesse and then ultimately steal it for themselves and their co-conspirators. For example, in 2022 alone, the Kingpin defendants effectuated the transfer of at least $35 million out of Mr. Ray's accounts. How is this guy so rich? Is Randy Ray like one of those evangelical, like, pastor people? Money stolen. So this is this article. Okay, that's not relevant. Okay, I don't know. It's weird. I can't find specifics. I'll look into it more later. But anyway, so they stole his money, a 35 mil through a spider web of companies. So this was Mrs. McKinney. She was a accountant. The Cambridge recruiting were key employees who alter corporate documents and records in order to allocate these funds directly out of jeunesse. Okay, this is Mr. Dawson. This is the guy that is named as like one of the principal lenders here. Mr. Dawson is a licensed attorney in Nebraska who also owns a controlling interest Pathway Bank. Ray accuses Dawson family members of profiting through bogus jeunesse distributor positions. Debbie Curley, along with Jennifer Luque, Jerry Dorman. Okay, man, so many people involved in this. Okay, so this Rob guy was not Rob. This Ray guy was also an MLMer. So it looks like, okay, so just based off of this, and Rob Dawson being one of these people, if it's the same person, these are deplorable people as a whole anyways. So stealing from them, even if Steven did, and I'm not saying like stealing from anyone's okay, but stealing from these types of people, I personally am okay with. Obviously stealing is bad and no one should do it, but he tried to steal from bad people, and I'm not saying that it makes him good. I'm just saying he was stealing from bad people from what it looks like so far, and we're only on the third paragraph. Obviously this could change. Let's keep going. Beginning in 2024, defendant Rob Dawson, Intrepid's principal lender, embarked on a campaign to extort control of Intrepid from plaintiff and ultimately to strip Intrepid of its assets, including its groundbreaking intellectual property and trade secrets from Dawson for Dawson's own use and financial gain. Through repeated threats to withholding funds for payroll, to shut Intrepid down, to financially ruin plaintiff, and even to physically harm plaintiff, Dawson I don't know what this redacted part is. Elected himself to the board and cherry-picked additional board members who would do his bidding. So this, it does seem like his MO, because it involves payroll, being like, yeah, we need to either pay into payroll or we're going to withhold payroll. Those board members are defendants Ryan Odgen. Is that person listed here anywhere? Ryan Odgen. I don't see a Ryan Odgen here. Who is also duly appointed Chief Financial Officer, Teresa Fett. This might be her. Jennifer Luque, Debbie Curley. Okay. Okay, I got some names down now. Teresa Fett and Aaron Bartels. Ryan? Oh, this Ryan Odgen person? They think that it's a made-up person? So it doesn't exist? So it was probably just Dawson himself? Is that what they're thinking? Teresa Fett and Aaron Bartels, collectively Dawson the board defendants. The board defendants failed to fulfill their fiduciary duties to the company. Instead, they engineered and executed a plan to strip Intrepid of its assets and transfer those assets to Dawson creating controlled entity TFE. Oh, they think it's him. Okay. Of which they are likely also members, and to misappropriate and claim ownership over Intrepid's intellectual property, trade secrets, and other assets. The plan included, among other things, deliberately starving Intrepid of cash to manufacture justification for foreclosure by TFE, attempting to divert revenues owed to Intrepid to accounts controlled by TFE and Dawson, and attempting to execute a wrongful Article 9 foreclosure in favor of TFE's junior secured lien without notice to senior secured creditors. This was all done with the goal of leaving unpaid debts and existing shareholders with Intrepid while continuing to develop or sell and profit from Ashes of Creation through the new TFE entity. When plaintiff objected to the foreclosure and alerted a senior secured creditor to defendant's scheme, defendants realized their plan had unraveled and they abruptly and wrongfully terminated nearly Intrepid's entire workforce. Defendants' actions signified to the public a complete collapse of Intrepid, and they triggered severe and intense public scrutiny regarding the apparent failure of the game, the treatment of employees, and plaintiff's perceived role in both. Defendants intentionally set up plaintiff as the scapegoat to face this backlash alone, including by intentionally filing a false corporate disclosure listing plaintiff as a sole board member and plaintiff's husband John Moore as chief financial officer. Even though Ogden was the duly appointed chief financial officer and all of the board defendants were board members. They did this for no other reason than to conceal the identities of the board of directors and insulate them from public fallout. So he's alleging that that document was also fraudulent that was filed related to the board members. Since destroying Intrepid, defendants have been actively soliciting buyers for Ashes of Creation, inclusive of Intrepid's intellectual property and trade secrets, in an attempt to salvage their own financial exposure. They've also been publicly defaming plaintiff to the gaming community. Defendant's conduct has harmed the company and plaintiff and poses a continuing, imminent, and existential threat to the company. Through this action, plaintiff, both individually and on behalf of Intrepid, seeks damages based on defendant's efforts to sabotage Intrepid and its work on one of the most ambitious gaming projects ever developed. Plaintiff also seeks injunctive and equitable relief to remedy harm to Intrepid and derivative plaintiffs from defendants' continued efforts to irrevocably destroy the company in pursuit of their own greed. This court, federal jurisdiction, blah blah blah. So where is this? This is in California, Southern District of California. Okay. Plaintiff is the founder of Intrepid Studios. He's the former CEO of the company and has served on the board of directors for the company's inception until May 19, 2026. So he says he served on the board of directors, but then he said that they created their own board of directors. Plaintiff either himself invented or was directly involved in Intrepid's creation of the intellectual property and trade secrets that comprise the MMORPG Ashes of Creation. Nominal defendant Intrepid Studios Inc. is a California corporation, blah blah blah. Defendant Robert Dawson has served as Intrepid's chairman of the board since 2024. He has been Intrepid's majority shareholder since July 2024, and he is a junior secured lender to Intrepid. He resides in Longwood, Florida. By virtue of his role as Intrepid's chairman of the board, majority shareholder, and junior secured lender, Dawson has purposely availed himself of the benefits and protections of California's laws, including by conducting activities in California that target California residents, such as by conceiving and executing the wrongful foreclosure strategies described herein, and through his post-closure efforts to solicit buyers and employees in California to exploit the company's intellectual property and trade secrets, as alleged herein. Plaintiff's claims arise out of and relates to Dawson's contacts with California. So that's why they brought the suit in California, because they're saying that's where the jurisdiction is because of these ties to California for Robert Dawson. Defense Right Argan has served as principal CFO since September 2024 and as a board member since on or around August 2024. He resides in Florida. By virtue of his role, Argan has purposely availed himself of the benefits and protections of California's laws, including by conducting activities in California that target California residents, blah, blah, blah. Same thing. And they're going to say the same thing about everyone else. Plaintiffs bring certain claims derivatively on behalf of Intrepid pursuant to Federal Rule of Civil Procedure 23. Let's take a look at what this procedure is. Let's do a deep dive, shall we? Derivative actions. The rule applies when one or more shareholders or members of a corporation or an unincorporated association bring a derivative action to enforce a right that the corporation or association may properly assert but has failed to enforce. The derivative action may not be maintained if it appears that the plaintiff did not fairly and adequately represent the interests of the shareholders or members who are similarly situated in enforcing the rights of the corporation and association. The claim must be verified and allege that the plaintiff was a shareholder or member at the time of the transaction complained of. Alleges the action is not a collusive one to confer jurisdiction that the court would otherwise lack. State with particularity any effort by the plaintiff to obtain the desired action from the directors or comparable authority, and the reason for not obtaining the action or not making the effort. Interesting. So it's basically that's why he's suing as a shareholder under Civil Procedure 23.1. And the continue to be suffered by the company as a direct and proximate result of the board of direct defendants' unlawful conduct, including without limitation violation of the Defend Trade Secrets Act, violation of California Uniform Trade Secrets Act, violation of California Commercial Code, breaches of fiduciary duty, and aiding and abetting breaches of fiduciary duty, corporate waste, and conspiracy. Right, my steed is like, come back and play. You guys heard that, right? Plaintiff was a shareholder of Intrepid at the time of relevant transaction, so this is just to make sure that he falls under 23.1, and continues to maintain that status and remains a shareholder of Intrepid. The action is not a collusive effort to confer jurisdiction. Okay, so he's basically just outlining Civil Procedure 23.1 here. I think it logged me out, didn't it? Yeah, it did. Okay. To initiate action would be based on the facts alleged herein, depend upon the Intrepid Board of Directors to initiate this action would be futile pursuant to federal I can't read with the music blaring like it was there. At all relevant times, the majority of the board comprised the board defendants, each of whom participated in and approved the conduct and conspiracy giving rise to the claims asserted herein. Plaintiff was previously a member of the board, but he was unable to prevent the illegal efforts undertaken by the board, and therefore resigned from both the company and the board. The board defendants authorized, ratified, permitted, and or knowingly failed to prevent the wrongful acts alleged herein by virtue of the fiduciary roles and their direct involvement. Board defendants would be required to investigate and pursue claims arising from their own misconduct. Because each board defendant participated personally in the alleged wrongdoing, the board cannot exercise independent or disinterested business judgment in deciding whether to bring this action or to prosecute vigorously. Any demand would therefore have required the Board of Defendants to authorize litigation against themselves, rendering any demand a useless and futile item. Okay, so basically what he's alleging here is the reason he's brought this suit is because they wouldn't have brought it against themselves. No, this is just to make sure that they cover each point in 23.1. And then general allegations. So this is the first allegation. Plaintiff founds Intrepid, fosters Intrepid's creation and intellectual property and trade secrets, and obtains early financing. So this is Steven saying, this is what I did. Sharief is a longtime gamer, and prior to founding Intrepid, he participated in the gaming market as an avid consumer, taking particular interest in MMO and MMORPG games. After years of experience with MMOs and MMORPGs on the player side, Sharief was inspired to create his own game that would upgrade the player experience beyond what was available in the market. Sharief's original idea game stemmed from tabletop RPG, concept also created by Steven, and also titled Ash's Creation. In creating his own new and innovative MMORPG, Sharief sought to create a complex and dynamic virtual game universe based on popular fantasy and science fiction themes. To realize his vision of Ashes of Creation, set out to build deep and intricate systems that would present blah blah blah. In 2015, Sharief co-founded Intrepid alongside his husband, John Moore, to develop the MMORPG Ashes of Creation. Due to the novelty of Sharief's vision and Ashes of Creation, and despite Sharief's own familiarity with requirements for developing the game, Sharief surrounded himself with seasoned game developers to help bring his vision to life, whom he closely directed and supervised. When started out as a passion project, soon gained significant traction across the gaming industry, including an award for the most anticipated MMO in 2017, 2020, and 2022. This is the image. Okay. Public excitement about the development of the game was further fueled by Sharief's innovative development approach in which he fostered an open dialogue with the Ashes of Creation's potential user base. In furtherance of this approach, Sharief would host live webinars of Ashes of Creation YouTube channel to update players on the game's development and solicit player feedback and participation to a greater degree than any previous MMORPG. There were many concrete benefits to the novel development, blah blah blah. I'm not going to get too much into this. Had been tested, following the early access version. Okay, so this is where it starts. Prior to the execution of Dawson's and board defendants' illicit plan, Ashes of Creation boasted the highly unusual day 30 player retention rate of approximately 76%. Throughout the last decade, Intrepid developed and following intellectual property and trade secrets, audiovisual effects, models for characters, company's confidential source code, designs and implementation, proprietary player bases, player risk rewards, scaling algorithms, node system, tools, spawner systems, quest, story arc systems, event tool used to create open world events, wars and caravan systems, seasonal environmental systems. I mean, okay, I'm not going to get into that too much. I mean, these weren't really proprietary systems, I would say. Like this seasonal environmental system is just, unless they created their own engine, which I don't think they did. They were using Unreal, weren't they? So this wouldn't really be proprietary. This would just be like functionality of the existing Unreal Engine. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I feel like this claim is invalid. Right? That's what I'm thinking. And maybe with the new dynamic surfaces, like where the snow and stuff collects on top of surfaces and stuff. So I feel like this is not really proprietary. This is just like what the engine's capable of. You're not creating a new system. You're just using what's already there. I can understand like stuff like this being like the logic associated with this or the code associated with this being proprietary, but like, I don't know. A lot of these spawner systems and this stuff is not really, you know, I feel like this stuff is not really proprietary. Maybe the internal admin tools, like the admin tools might be proprietary, but this stuff not really. Because what did you really innovate on the story arc systems, you know? Anyways, I'm digressing. The trade secret materials are not generally known to public, and they derive competitive value from the fact that they are kept secret from the public, as shown by 1, funding interest in Intrepid based on the trade secret materials, as described herein, and the revenue generated during early access event in December. Okay. So you're saying people buying your skins was a result of trade secret material. I mean, technically they did include models for characters, monsters, environment as part of their trade secrets. So yeah, okay. I guess you could kind of argue that. This is like a very weak point, I think, personally. This point is like, so what? It's like nobody cares. I don't think the judge is gonna look at this and be like, yeah, this is a valid point, guys. The judge is probably gonna look at all this stuff too and be like, okay, most of this is not proprietary. What are you talking about? How is this proprietary? Intrepid has kept the trade secret materials a secret by subjecting its employees to strict confidentiality and protection of trade secret obligations and employment agreements, pursuant to which employees agree not to publish or disclose any company trade secrets or confidential information. And we have the company handbook, which requires employees to safeguard confidential and trade secret information and to access such information only on a need-to-know basis, with authorization from the supervisor, and which informs employees that breach of the policy may result in illegal action. Moreover, Intrepid ensured that contractors and third-party vendors were routinely required to sign non-disclosure agreements and were subject to contractual confidentiality obligations in an effort to maintain the secrecy of the trade secrets material. Okay. I mean, this is like standard practice, right? For anything. Where you restrict it based on role. So what they're basically saying is our structure was good. We were doing it the proper way. Access credentials were also revoked upon termination or separation of personnel. These measures were implemented to ensure that the trade secret materials were not publicly disclosed, blah, blah, blah. Intrepid was Sharief's passion project. He provided early funding to the company from his personal funds. Thereafter, in 2017, the company raised approximately $3 million in Kickstarter campaign, demonstrating from the outset that the commercial value of Intrepid's intellectual property and trade secret materials. Okay. Isn't this verifiably false? Like, we already know he didn't provide his own funds. Didn't he have like $2 million from what's his face? Karamanis? Like, this is already verifiably false, right? Like, this is not a true statement. Yeah, he took loans, so they weren't his personal funds. Those loans were intended to be used. Yeah. So thereafter, in 2017, the company raised approximately $3 million in Kickstarter campaign, and he could have used that $3 million to pay off those loans, but he decided not to. There's that too, right? Because I think he owed like what did he owe? $2 million at that point, so he could have paid it off, and then had some money left over to develop the game. But nope, I want to keep it all. During this initial phase of the company, his board of directors consisted of Sharief, John Moore, and Thomas Alcazan. Who the hell is Thomas Alcazan? Okay, this was that one update that was like a few months ago. I can't find anything. Oh, wait. So this is like in 2012, top LMLM field leaders in the world in 2012. Him and his mom were number 4. That's actually insane. That tells you that they took a lot of money from a lot of people. Anyone on this list should not be proud to be on this list, is all I'm going to say. This is not something to be proud of. You don't want to be on this list, guys. Never, ever want to be on this list. This tells the world that you're like leeches. You're stealing from people, basically. And I say this like MLMs are like the worst. Yeah, exactly. Like this. Oh my god. Yeah, you don't want to be on this freaking list ever. So Thomas Alcazin is okay. So he was mentioned in Jason's interview. Okay, starting in I should watch that interview in full. Starting in 2017, the company began acquiring debt financing, much of which Sharief and more personally guaranteed. Okay, so they personally guaranteed the debt financing. Okay, so that's how he can allege those were his personal funds. In 2020, the company acquired a $6 million loan from Commerce West Bank pursuant to the Federal Reserve's Main Street lending program. Oh my god. So they even took COVID relief money. Holy. What was going on with the team? Weren't they all remote already? Like, I don't understand why they would have needed to do this. Isn't that already fraud? Like, a business that didn't really have employees wouldn't need to take that funding, right? Am I wrong in this? I feel like that's going to be opening them up to something too. The IRS might be able to go after them. I'm pretty sure that's what this program was for. So here it says that in 2020, the company acquired a $6 million loan from the Commerce West Bank pursuant to the Federal Reserve's Main Street lending program. I remember that lending program being in existence because of COVID for small businesses. So yeah, the Federal Reserve established a Main Street lending program to support lending to small and medium-sized for-profit businesses and nonprofit organizations that were in sound financial condition before the onset of the pandemic. The program terminated on January 8, 2021. So this is where they got $6 million from. So they took taxpayer money too. The loan carried a maturity term of 5 years and was personally guaranteed by Moore and was collateralized by all of the company's assets, including specifically its intellectual property, which includes the trade secret material. A year later, in 2021, one of the company's existing lenders, wonder which one that was, introduced Sharief and the company to claimed billionaire Robert Dawson as a potential lender. From 2021 to 2025, Dawson continuously extended debt to the company. Dawson was initially cooperative and supportive of Sharief and his vision, and he held himself out as a confidant for Sharief. Dawson came up in the multi-level marketing space, and he was not a gamer. When it became clear the project was not going to turn as quick a profit as he had hoped, his behavior toward Sharief changed dramatically starting in 2023. Oh, sorry, Piero, what do you mean the dates don't line up? I'm curious because I'm not sure what you mean. This will let me focus on it too. Yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if this is BS and Jace or Dawson was involved way earlier. I would not be surprised. I mean, all of this is going to come out in Discovery because this will likely go ahead and or they'll settle. I think Sharief might be hoping that they don't want all this to come out, like these guys like Dawson and so on. But egos are going to play a role, and I think they're going to be like, no, you know, screw this guy, we're going to go to Discovery, we're going to do everything. And these people are pretty shady, so even in Discovery they might not disclose everything. It's going to be an interesting tale. I'm going to follow this for a little bit for sure, because it's going to be interesting. There's going to be a lot of he said, she said, a lot of hearsay. I don't think we'll get very much in terms of like concrete proof of anything, because unless they all took like really good records, which is possible because they're very good at screwing each other over and they're very good at screwing other people over, so they probably know to keep their records in check, because then if they get screwed, if they get backstabbed, they have something to fall back on. It's going to be very interesting to see what these guys pull out. So in late 2022 and early 2023, a major video game developer expressed interest in acquiring Intrepid for hundreds of millions of dollars. Dawson urged Sharief to reject the proposed deal in favor of continuing to develop the Intrepid from the ground up under his financing. Sharief heeded his advice, rejected the acquisition bid, and acquisition discussions ended in early 2023. I wonder how much truth there is to this. I can't imagine any studio wanting to buy Ashes. Maybe Amazon? We are technically getting Ashes PvP, yeah. The only studio I can think of that may have wanted to take it might have been Amazon. I can't think of any other one. The acquisition offer, however, was a turning point in Sharief and Dawson's relationship. Dawson thought that the company had very real potential, providing extremely high returns. Face punch? But 100 mil? Okay. They might have had the funds. Face punch. Revenue. Cash on hand. Okay, so just to this point, do you think we're gonna get New World back, since Alistair McFarlane offered 25 mil for it? I say that's pretty low. It's a low offer, but it's like cents on the dollar, which makes sense. Okay, I can see Face Punch acquiring them if they had agreed. The acquisition offer, however, was a turning point, blah, blah, blah. And Dawson began a ruthless campaign for control of the company in order to realize those returns as quickly as possible without consideration of the quality of the game and the typical development timeline of an MMORPG. From early 2023 to May 2024, Dawson repeatedly held Sharief and the then board hostage by threatening to withhold financing for employee payroll and health insurance payments days before payroll deadlines, to shut down the company through litigation, and to cause Sharief financial ruin and physical harm unless Sharief signed documents granting Dawson greater and greater amounts of equity and control. So, what I don't understand here is, like, if this is happening as early as 2023 and May 2024, why are you not filing a suit then? to stop this from happening, and being like, yo, this guy is like literally threatening my life. he's coercing me into signing these documents, and I don't want to hand over control. I want him out. Why not go for relief at that point is my question. Oh my god, are you serious? And I'm assuming Steven was on board, is what he said? In just one example, Dawson demanded a warrant granting him 10% of the company for $10. In other instances... Oh, it was an idea. Okay. In other instances, Dawson demanded zero-cost, non-dilutable equity options in his convertible debt notes. Sharief and the then board acquiesced to Dawson's demands because they believed Dawson would make good on his threats, and refusing would result in imminent catastrophe for employees in the company. Dawson also required Sharief to involve him in all decisions with the company council. Despite his outsider status, and even falsely represented that he was an agent of the company to retain company counsel. As a direct result of this intentional and mounting pressure, plaintiff suffered an extreme health crisis, including a hypertensive emergency and acute kidney failure, hospitalization, and vision loss from blood pressure complications, including macular edema. Plaintiff suffers long-term impairment from health issues he's experienced during this period. Dawson was privy to plaintiff's health issues at the time, and he's well aware of the long-term impacts plaintiff suffers. It would be very interesting. I would definitely grab the assets up and the blueprints up and try to run with it. Although I feel like, personally, I felt like Ashes was going a little too... like there was too much going on. What is that? Feature creep? Too much feature creep. I would have liked them to tone it down a bit and then develop that over time. Why is this all redacted? All of this is redacted. I'd like to know why this is redacted. %. For 10 years, like, I feel like a beta should have been at least ready by then. A lot of this does not add up. Okay, so after the incident, I guess, Dawson gained both de jure and de facto control of the company finances and governance. He was not only the majority shareholder, but also remained the primary provider of crucial debt financing. Did you buy the alpha key early on, or did you get in on Steam? Or because I was thinking about buying the alpha key way back in the day, but I decided against it because I was like, it's not far along enough. Oh wow, since Alpha 1. Would you say the game was fun? Because I feel like, from what I gathered, there wasn't much to do in the game, right? At least not yet. Holy. Did you buy a lot of cosmetics as well? Or were you one of the Kickstarter backers as well? And that's why you started. Like, that's when you initially got in. That's insane, dude. Oh man. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's rough. Hopefully it gets bought by somebody and like resurrected. That would be nice. Or there is some merit to this suit, and like they get the company back. They get some restitution, or like some pecuniary. What is it called? What's the damages? I forget what the damages are called, but like the ones that make you whole. And that way they have some money to run with it. But I don't know. Based off of everything I've seen so far, I don't think it's going to happen. But I think there is a possibility, maybe. Hopefully Sharief's not BSing too much. He's BSing just enough to get it to work. He was not only the majority shareholder, but he remained the primary provider of crucial debt financing. He leveraged his newly acquired power of Sharief and his team to employees by continuing to routinely threaten to withhold funds, especially just before bi-weekly payroll deadlines to extract concessions. For example, based on the threat of withholding payroll funds, he forced Moore to resign from the board and transfer his equity to Sharief. Dawson and his deputies also frequently threatened to harm Steven and his loved ones physically if Steven did not comply with his demands. Yeah, I agree. Like, it's... Yeah, I know what you mean. Like, at the end of the day, if you really think about it, whose decisions led to this ending? It was Steven's. Because he chose to get in bed with these people. He chose to let them control the company. I mean, clearly he had opportunities to get out and make sure that this didn't happen. He only said they were being unethical at the very end. And if somebody's threatening your life, somebody's telling you, you know, you can't do this. If this is all true, this is all alleged, right? We don't know if this is true. If it's all true, they were being unethical for a while. And you're just saying, like, I can't handle their unethical decisions now. Because, you know, this is where I'm going to get off. I'm going to take all this abuse for years, and this is where I'm going to get off. Exactly. All of this started with him at the end of the day. As much as he may want to deflect, may want to blame other people, he chose to get in bed with these people. And the reason it failed is because of him at the end of the day, I think. On May 13, 2024, Dawson's securitized his debt against all assets and all personal property of the company, including intellectual property, which includes the trade secrets, blah, blah, blah. Dawson knew or should have known of these senior liens because they were publicly available. As majority shareholder, Dawson voted himself and his close business associate Ryan Ogden on the board. The board appointed Dawson as chairman of the board and Ogden as CFO. Dawson directed Ogden to open new bank accounts for Intrepid at Pathway Bank, which is a bank over which Dawson exercises de facto or de jure control. I think that's the same bank that was mentioned in this one. Pathway Bank. This is the same guy. That face screams, don't trust me. Sharief ceased to have any access to active company bank accounts, and he was effectively stripped of financial and other authority. By August 2025, Dawson elected his close associates Theresa Fett, also a substantial company creditor, and Aaron Bartels to the board. Thus, from that time until January 19, 2026, resignation from the company, the board consisted of Dawson, Ogden, Fett, Bartels, and Sharief. Ogden, Fett, and Bartels acted at the behest of Dawson rather than as independent board members, and they continually voted in alignment with him. Dawson frequently insisted that Sharief not publicize Dawson's role with the company. Ogden, too, did not wish for his identity and role to be revealed publicly. Sharief was under no express obligation to hide Dawson's or Ogden's role and identity, but Sharief complied out of fear of reprisals, and he continued to act as the external face of the company. Yeah, it's shady. On October 15, 2025, Sharief notified the board that he would take a temporary medical leave relating to the medical issues he had suffered in 2024. He advised the board that he would be stepping back from his role as CEO and board member, but that he would continue as he was able as creative director. Intrepid Partners as well. In or around September 25th, 2025, the board, against Sharief's and other senior leadership's advice, directed that Intrepid undertake an early access launch of Ashes of Creation in partnership with the online gaming platform Steam, owned by Valve. The early access launch on December 11th. Steam is blah blah blah. Ogden specifically assured Commonwealth Bank that the revenue owing to the company from Valve under the revenue share agreement related to Steam early access launch would cover outstanding obligations on the Commerce West Bank loan. Okay, devised a plan to position of the company, blah blah blah. What was their plan? Yeah, they kind of got screwed because all these people, they didn't care about anyone but themselves. This agreement was undertaken with the intent that TFE would take proposed ownership of all the company assets, including specifically the company's intellectual property and trade secrets material. Beginning in 2025 and in furtherance of their scheme, the board defendants intentionally permitted the company to accrue substantial unpaid obligations to vendors and service providers with the goal of using this debt to improperly declare a default and justify an Article 9 foreclosure on Dawson's junior secured lien. Prior to the wrongful foreclosure and in furtherance of their underhanded plan, Dawson directed Ogden as CFO to open bank as a pathway. Okay. Prior to the wrongful foreclosure and to further justify a declaration of default, Ogden wrongfully directed Valve to direct and deposit funds owed to the company under the partnership with Steam to the new Pathway Bank account for TFE. Valve, smart enough to not comply. Plaintiff first objected to the board defendant's plan during a December in-person board meeting, specifically objected to the board causing the company not to pay vendors. To the board plan to lay off a large portion of the employees without requisite pay and benefits into the legality of the foreclosure plan. After the meeting ended and the other board members had left, Dawson confronted plaintiff in a physically intimidating manner, told him he didn't want any shit, and coerced him to sign between 30 and 40 signature pages of corresponding agreements to which plaintiff was not permitted to review. How is Steven such a, I don't know, pushover? How can Dawson have this much control? I don't know. I mean, I haven't dealt with people like that, but clearly he's a psychopath, right? It's got to be. He's a psycho. But why take money from a psycho? Plaintiff next objected to the board defendant's plan to foreclose without notice to the senior secured lenders on a phone call. This goes back to, like, again, Steven from the outside. I'm not going to give up any control, creative or otherwise, to anyone else, guys. Trust me, bro. I got you. I'm going to make the best game ever, and I'm not going to give up any of that control. Lies. Plaintiff next objected to the board defendant's plan to foreclose without notice to the senior secured lenders on a phone call. That's insane. I feel like anyone who has like multiple millions of dollars and like to that extent and has probably done some shady shit, like honestly. You don't get to that level of wealth without some form of shady stuff, I think. It's just my take. I could be wrong. There are probably people out there that work their butts off and get to that point, but a lot of them do some shady stuff. Yeah, 100%. MLMs, pyramids, yeah. Plaintiff next objected to the board defendant's plan to foreclose without notice to the senior secured lenders on a phone call with Dawson and Dawson's personal counsel that occurred between December 28th and January 3rd. Filed a false statement of information. Concealed board defendant. Okay. I'm just trying to read it faster. So he decided to finally grow a spine at this point and say, guys, we're not going to foreclose the company. We're not going to do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this. And for, what is it, 2 or 3 years, according to the suit, he said nothing. Okay. Or even if he did, he didn't really say it as often, it seems. I mean, I can't speak to it. Maybe these guys are super scary. I don't know. But I don't know. I think when you let something go this far, you can't really pull it back. On January 7th, an investor rock on foreclosure, and in further support defendant schemes to seal the company's intellectual property, Dawson changed the secured party on a secured party financing himself to TFE. On January 14th, in concert with the board of directors, representative to investors, the company has secured the necessary capital commitments to make through September 2026 launch. During this meeting, Dawson revealed that foreclosure is to wipe the investors and lender table clean. Wow. Okay. Sharief blew the whistle on defendants' foreclosure plan to Commonwealth Bank. Defendants had intentionally failed to notify of the foreclosure, prompted by this information. Commonwealth Bank issued an event of default letter on January 18th, demanding immediate and full repayment from either company or personal guarantors of the loan more. On January 16, 2026, Dawson caused Intrepid to declare default on the one hand, and he caused TFE to foreclose on the company's asset on the other hand. Dawson caused TFE to engage in a non-judicial disposition in favor instead of a private sale. Dawson, TFE, and the board of defendants failed to advertise the sale in industry standard publications or platforms. They did not involve a broker or auctioneer and did not publish any marketing for the sale in any manner. The intellectual property and trade secrets of an MMORPG are not customarily sold on a recognized market, but Dawson, TFE, and the board of defendants pursued a self-serving private sale anyways. TFE obtained Intrepid's assets via self-interested transaction between Dawson, who controlled Empire 1, and Dawson, who controlled TFE on the other hand. This self-interested transaction was completed at the specific design of Dawson and the board of defendants. For their own personal profits, this foreclosure approximately indirectly cost Intrepid harm in the form of loss of most of its valuable assets, its intellectual property and trade secrets through a commercially unreasonable sale. Dawson and board members executed this agreement over Sharief's objections and in violation of the rights of senior secured creditors to plaintiffs. Dawson performed the foreclosure in an unintentionally clandestine manner, and he specifically ignored his counsel's advice that Dawson must provide notice to senior secured creditors, including Commonwealth Bank. Immediately thereafter, on January 19, Sharief resigned, blah, blah, blah. Dawson and the board illegally separate into Intrepid's entire workforce and lead plaintiff to suffer the fallout. Warn notices. We know this happened. To frame Sharief as the company's collapse, they would let Sharief take the fall and emerge as White Knights in a few months would plan to revive the game beloved by millions. Interesting. Okay, so let's see what happens here. So the corporate unrest followed by the mass layoffs generated significant agitation in the online gaming community. However, Dawson and the board defendants have intentionally hidden behind the guise of anonymity. It was no error that Ogden filed a blatantly false statement of information with the California Secretary of State, identifying only Sharief and Morris company directors and/or officers. Rather, it was a calculated action intended to shield the board from the fallout of their actions and wrongfully place the public blame on Sharief. The fallout for Sharief has been swift and devastating. The public has wrongfully blamed Sharief for the downfall of Intrepid, accused Sharief of legal wrongdoing, and called Sharief a liar. Sharief has received death threats, and both Sharief and his family fear constantly for their physical safety. The board defendants specifically discussed during a January 30th, 2026 board meeting with multiple witnesses present. Using this online campaign to frame Sharief for the company's collapse, they would let Sharief take the fall and emerge as White Knights in a few months with plans to revive the game beloved by millions. So maybe it's coming back. I'm kidding. I'm trying to be facetious here. To the same end, the board defendants have piled into this false narrative by making false allegations that Sharief misled creditors, investors as to game development milestones and completion dates. That Sharief misrepresented the nature of his relationships with business partners, and that plaintiff and more misappropriated company funds. On information and belief, the board defendants have taken the further step of distributing defamatory material, including false statements of criminal wrongdoing of Sharief to members of the gaming public community for discriminate. So this might be related to like that call, including false statements and criminal wrongdoing about Sharief to members of the gaming public for public dissemination. This is what I think they're referring to or implying. That happened on a live stream. At all times, Sharief appropriately caveated to potential lenders that any estimated timeframes with respect to Ashes of creation development milestones and completed estimates, subject to a number of variables outside of Sharief's control. Game development is an iterative process, and delays are standard in the industry. At no time did Sharief guarantee that Ashes of creation, as large, ambitious, and extremely innovative game changer in the world of MMORPG, would reach specific milestones to be completed by a specific time. At all times, Sharief appropriately caveated the relationships. Okay, and he says that at no time did Sharief intentionally, feel like this might be doing a lot of heavy lifting, misappropriate funds from the company. Public statements to the contrary are intended to invoke public outrage and outcry against Sharief to shield the defendants from the fallout of their wrongful actions described herein. Yeah. This is Valve is like the GOAT in all this. Like, honestly, they always end up doing the right thing. On February 3rd, 2026, Valve terminated Intrepid's partnership with Steam along others. Valve cited as reasons for the termination that it received multiple conflicting requests from alleged account administrators for Intrepid requesting authority to change Intrepid's banking information without response to Valve follow-up requests seeking to confirm the validity of the requests. That Valve has received demands from multiple potential creditors for Intrepid's revenues, and that Valve is receiving a large number of refund requests from players who purchased the early access release version of Ashes Creation. Before the issue of refunds, Intrepid would have been entitled to approximately $5 million, thus demonstrating the value of, among other things, trade secret materials. Defendants continued plan to imminently steal the company's intellectual property and trade secrets. They are currently actively soliciting former employees and former directors of IT, including with offers of compensation to provide them with access to Ashes of Creation along with its intellectual property and trade secret material components. Attempting to sell Ashes of Creation along with its intellectual property and trade secret material. The defendant's actions are in furtherance of the agreement between the board defendants and blah, blah, blah. First claim of relief. Re-alleges and incorporates by reference all allegations in all preceding paragraphs, blah, 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 derivative claim, okay. I hate how in legal, like, filings, you have to reiterate everything. It's annoying. Okay, so this is what they're seeking. Or that's the defendant. What's the plaintiff seeking? Accordingly, the plaintiff requests that the court enjoin, which is an injunction, which is basically prevents them from accessing, using, or selling the company trade secret materials. So it prevents them from ever doing anything like that. So this is injunctive relief that they're seeking. The board defendants agreed to deprive the company of its intellectual property, blah, blah, blah. Second claim of relief. So the first claim is an injunctive relief to prevent them from selling it. And then the second is, okay, they're going to repeat everything. Is to prevent them from using any of that stuff. Again, injunctive relief. Third claim for relief. Is breach of fiduciary duty. And then the final or fifth is aiding and abetting breach of fiduciary duty. Okay. Corporate waste. Okay. Intentional infliction of emotional distress. Okay, so this is where we get into the pecuniary damages, I think. I think that's the word, pecuniary damages. A form of compensatory damages in legal cases that cover quantifiable out-of-pocket financial losses resulting from injury or accident. These damages are tangible and easy to calculate using invoices, bills, and pay stub, including expenses like medical bills, lost wages, and property damage. They can cover both past and future financial impacts. Types of damages. Okay, there's 3 types, right? Types of damages. Compensatory, nominal, punitive. I think punitive is probably what they're going to look for as well, just to punish them further. And restitutionary is probably another one that they're going to look for. Okay, let's see. The board, blah, 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 blah. As a direct and proximate result of board defendant conduct, plaintiff has suffered and continues to suffer severe emotional distress. Okay, so this is an example of punitive, I think. Not punitive, sorry. Where is it? Compensatory damages or pecuniary, quantify. Yeah, so medical. So this is like distress and everything. I think that would be considered pecuniary damages. Oh, yeah, non-pecuniary damages. So part of the compensatory damages. And then they will probably seek punitive damages as well to like make them suffer more like the board if this is all true, so they don't do shit like this again in the future. And disgorgement, I guess the equitable relief, if it's granted, would not really warrant anything like this because they wouldn't have gained any profit from selling the intellectual property. Yeah, so it looks like that's what they're going for. And then civil conspiracy. Company just derivative suffered and continues to suffer substantial money damage. So this is like punitive damages, like calculatable, quantifiable damages that they're asking for. Praise for the following. Okay, in order enjoining. Okay, compensatory. Yep, there it is. Consequential and punitive. Oh man, I remember my contract law from back in the day. An order requiring the company to adopt and implement appropriate corporate governance, compliance, and oversight reforms. Removal of board defendants from board of Intrepid. Yep, there it is. And he signed off on it. Okay, so this is like a, what's it called? Oh, fudge, what are these called? I can't even remember what they're called off the top of my head now. It's been so long. Affidavit kind of thing where he's like, I'm alleging that, or whatever I've stated is true. So yeah. That's the Ashes drama so far. So my thinking is, based off of everything that's stated in there, unless he's got like meeting minutes, unless he's got recordings, it's all hearsay. And there's 4 of them and there's only 1 of him. So it should be interesting to see what happens. But it's, yeah, if it goes through discovery, we're going to find out a lot of stuff. And I don't think, if any of this is true, Dawson would want this to go to discovery, because if it goes to discovery, he's kind of screwed. If it's true. Yeah, more PvP, exactly. But I do think there's a case for like injunctive relief at the very least in the meantime. So I think all the injunctive relief stuff will probably happen until the court can figure out if there's any like truth to any of this. Because it's like one of those things where if you don't provide that injunctive relief, then there's going to be damages that you can't really, you can't really, how do I put it? So like if they don't give the injunctive relief and they do sell Intrepid's intellectual property, then how do you really get it back ever? So it's like one of those things. So I think the first 3 causes of action, they should be able to get the injunctive relief, or first 2, sorry. So they'll prevent the sale of it and prevent the use of it. I think that will happen pretty quickly. But the rest of it's like all in limbo at this point. Let's see how accurate I am in that assessment when it all comes out. So let's say that he did embezzle funds, right? Let's say that he made false statements on company forms. What he's alleged in this suit is essentially that he didn't actually have any control over any of that. So he's kind of like trying to get away from that too. If you read between the lines, he's saying he never had any control over any of it. Like, they took all control. Like, he had 0 control. He was just, a figurehead at that point. He was just the public facing figure. That's why that language is in that. It's like sneaky. It's pretty sneaky, actually. Like, the lawyers have done a really good job in that. They're basically like feeding the narrative that Steven had no control. Steven was the victim. They were falsified documents. So who's to say that those other falsified documents weren't him? And the fact that they mention a specific number at the end there, remember how it's like Dawson got him to sign like 50 documents without having him read any of them? That opens the gates to like plausible deniability to literally 50 different things that he might have done that were like shady as F. And he's just going to be like, yeah, this was coerced. Like, he coerced me into signing this. I couldn't even read what I was signing. So there's a reason those things are in there. Like with any of these suits and any of these claims, you have to read between the lines, because legal language is like that. Like, it's not, if you put the stuff into ChatGPT, you're not going to get like the same result. Lawyers put that information in on purpose. They want to have an avenue of attack, and they've already planned this out. Like, they know which way they want to go. So all of the text in this complaint is planned out to give them avenues of attack, give them avenues of escape, basically help him escape culpability. So take all of this with a grain of salt at this point, until and unless we get actual documentary evidence as to what actually happened, unless we get like recorded proof, unless we get any of that stuff. This is all just like all these guys looking out for themselves, basically. But it's pretty impressive. Like, that stuff, it stuck out to me. I didn't want to like mention it right away because I was like reading it, but it gives him a lot of plausible deniability. It gives him a lot of leeway to get out of it, unless the other guys have proof that no, he's BSing, which they probably don't either. Oh yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out in the next few days, because it's like an hour, 2 hours long each, right? But yeah, I think, I don't know if he'll do time. It'll depend on how much evidence the other guys have. It'll depend on whether or not this gets settled out of court. It could just be that they settle out of court. Like, if they're afraid of him or if he's afraid of them, it could be that. But we'll either way, we're gonna get some more information as time goes. The nice thing is, it's all these really bad people fighting amongst themselves. Like, I'm okay with this. Anyone who's like this, fight amongst yourselves all you want. Screw each other or money all you want. 100%. Like, I want to know how much money they actually ended up raising or getting. And I mean, if this Dawson guy did invest like 20-30 million, I can see why he wanted to have more control. Because he's probably like, this guy's not doing anything with this game. Like, it's been 10 years. Where's my freaking return on investment, dude? Like, what are you doing? So I can see why he would coerce him, why he'd be angry. But like even then, it's not warranted, right? But at the end of the day, all these guys are assholes. So as many of them as go down, it'll be nice. And I'm just saying it outright because anyone who partakes in MLMs, I have zero respect for those people. You're stealing from people who barely have any money and giving them nothing. Like, it's the worst. It takes a certain type of person to do that. Yeah, well, it's gonna be interesting for sure. We'll find out. I'm gonna have to cut this and put it on the channel. I'll probably do like I'll have to download the VOD and then cut it and put it on the channel. Cause it's definitely an interesting story that exists. Like him saying that they threatened his life. I mean, if somebody's giving you like 30-40 million and you haven't done anything with it for 10 years and they see that you've been like, okay, I know this is all alleged, right? On the other side, they see that you've been partying and all this other stuff. I can see why they would be angry with you. Okay. I'm gonna switch all the stuff back to LOTRO. I'm gonna go back to LOTRO, guys, on the Twitch side of things. So we're switching back to LOTRO as a category. Oh wow, I am the trending streamer in Ashes of Creation right now, guys. I have everyone that is watching Ashes of Creation watching me right now. Oh god. Sorry, I'm gonna go back to Lord of the Rings Online now. Back after talking about Ashes of Creation and the latest filing. So heading back to Lord of the Rings on. Oh, I can't even. I'm slurring my speech now. Heading back to Lord of the Rings Online after talking about Ashes of Creation, and we're back. Well, thank you, Piero. Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. It was fun. And yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate you. It's going to be exciting to see where all this goes. Let's turn up the volume. I think 34% is what I usually have it at. Imagine if okay, so now that's like 50,000. That's such a it's such a funny meme though. So I need to talk to Torgathir in Parth Adwil. I think he's at the front, right? Yeah, he's over here. Um. Oh God. Literally everything. Oh God. I can't believe that the top legal official in the country would do something like that. Rhaegar? Is that you, Crippa? Oh my God. I have heard this. I think saw you RPing. I went in for an ale. Okay, it's like I lead one of the RP kids in here. Right, posted. I didn't think Barliman's best would have had that effect. No, we're not gonna. RP is as a whole is like weird and awkward unless everyone's doing it. If everyone's doing it, then it's different. Then it's like fine. But when you have a few people doing it and not everybody. Also felt kind of creep. I did find your RP kind of intriguing, but also felt kind of like a creep. I think that's the only way to do it. Good to know. I won't feel as weird. It won't feel awkward to listen in then.
How can I be of service?
So after dealing with every other problem they could find first, they finally sent help for me. Better late than never, I suppose. Hunter's cloak, yes. It's a very nice cloak, but it only gives me It doesn't give me... Is there any cloak here that gives me critical rating and... This one's not bad. Dun-dun-dun. 9 vitality. That's a lot of agility though. Does agility give me critical rating? Okay, so 175 points. Okay, so it basically gives me that level of critical rating then. So that's technically like having 58 agility. Which is better stats wise? Or I feel like because Agile is basically 1-to-1 for rating, right? But also offers a lot of other benefits. Okay. I go Explorer, okay. The max power stat, okay. Roger that. Thank you.
Greetings.
And let's see what else do I have. Might gives me physical mastery. Agility, vitality gives me. What does will give me? Will gives me critical rating as well. So every 2 will gives me 1 critical rating. And then fate doesn't give me anything. Okay, so I guess none of these are really that good. "14 agility, 16 fate, 29 evade rating. 21 critical, 16 agility, 9 vitality. 16 fate, 14 might, 2 vitality, 6 might, okay, 7 vitality, 9 agility, maximum morale, evade. I think this is gonna be the one that I get.
Might I take a moment of your time?
Ostheron is an ancient fortress made to watch the pass between the North Downs and Evendim. She used to answer the call of Fornost and support it in need ever came. The need and the call did come, but support did not. Ostheron abandoned Fornost. For that, all who served within were cursed, branded as oath breakers, and left to stand their post until they redeem themselves. The time for redemption has come. We're going to deliver it. I've devised a couple of plans for doing this. I do not know if any will succeed, but I believe they're all worth trying. Right. Okay, so a lot of these are like
Stay a moment.
duty. Okay, so you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna cancel this one. Yes. And we're gonna head over to talk to Eladin. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that. We're gonna do the epic book quest and go talk to Eladin. To that end, I can turn this on. Okay, I'm gonna lock this. Lock that. Oh, did not mean to do that. Lock that. Wait, can I learn this? Okay. I think that's it, right? How many more days do I have left? 3 days, okay. Let's go to Rivendell. So Rivendell's gonna be, if we go to Estelden, I think I can go from there to Rivendell, I believe. So let's do that.
Greetings.
Okay, starting book 4. Let's go to the Trollshaws. This quest is level 37. I'm 35. I'm going to be 36 pretty soon, so I think it works. One level behind. I like how the map panel looks like. Did not mean to it. One sec. This way I can like actually see it, which is awesome. Is this the last bridge, I think? And this works. Oh, we get this.
What do you need?
There we are. Leveled up. So now we're on this end, and it's closer than coming out all the way over here. At least that's what I think. Let's see what kind of quest.
Lend me your ear.
This is level 35 quest. I hate these quests. Just finishing eating quickly. All right.
Will you lend me your ear?
I bid you welcome, friend, but must give you a word of caution. Servants of the enemy passed across the last bridge and swept into the Trollshaws. No less than 2 months ago, pursuing a small company, apprehended by the fort of Bruinen. Bruinen and the good people were brought to safety, but all of the evil ones were accounted for. Barracan maintains a camp to the east on a hill south of the road. Bring him this message for me. If you're going that way, no agents of evil have entered the Trollshaws by the last bridge, but so too have none left it. Whether evil lurks among the ruins of old Roudoir remains there. I thank you for this, friend. Tread with care and follow the road east until you find the marker we placed to guide friends to Bracken's camp. It is difficult to miss, for it is white, unlike the stone of these hills. Roger that.
Will you lend me your ear?
No. Thanks. No? Sickle flies? This is a deed, isn't it? Let's see. Are these guys a quest? No, they're not. Oh, they are. Oh, it's on this side. They call me Surandir. I come from the forests of Mirkwood. Well, this is pristine hide too. Which goes for a lot. There we go, that's done. Now I just need to kill sickle flies. Okay. Kill all the boars. Okay. I've only seen one sickle fly. Why? I've only seen one. It's actually very shocking. Oh no, he got me. There we go, that one's done. I need sickle flies. Where are they at? Shoot, I'm getting sleepy again. That was interesting reading the lawsuit, but now I'm starting to get sleepy again. Where are all the sickle flies at? Am I even going the right way? I am. Head over here. Grab this bad boy. Check to see. What's been going on here? Where are the sickle flies? Like, what is going on? I'm gonna try to find them. This is ridiculous. I only found one so far. Whisper bag, is that a sickle fly? Nope. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Literally 0 sickle flies. That's great. Okay, so let's go. Oh, there's a stable here? There's a stable. Oh, there it is. Road to Rivendell.
What do you need?
This is Bracken's camp. No one here to talk to. There it is. I was like, where's the deposit? I can't find it. No thanks, bro. It's saying there's something here. But there's no signal flies anywhere. This is the white rock they were mentioning. Already found Brecken's camp. I do need to go this way. So it is the right way technically. Okay. I have a feeling. Does it have a... No, it doesn't. Wolf Slayer is my new deed. Okay, so I gotta kill the venison too. Interesting. Now there's a quest for bears as well. What I remember. Went backwards, dang it. Nice, we got some bats, we got some gelk. Welcome back, Silver. How are you doing? Back to LOTRO as well on my end here. This way, if I beeline it, I should get there pretty quick. Too far away. Too far away still, okay. We're gonna start the next book quest, and then we'll end the stream there. And we'll continue with book 4 tomorrow. I don't think I'm gonna hit my level 45 desire. But I don't want to like get too far ahead of the epic book quest either, that's the thing. If we get too far ahead, then I'm out leveling everything, it becomes too easy. Oops. Bump. Need more venison. There's one. Alright, more venison. One more. There it is. There's 6. I think that's it. All right, let's head a little faster than 25%. What is this? Another fire. All right, we're here. There's bears too and worms. Okay, what's attacking me? See, this is better. Like a large concentration of them in one spot. And where are we? Right here. Okay, I am here. Go up here. Oh, there it is. Bear, I don't have time for you right now. What the? That woke me up though. I'm gonna grab this quest and head to bed tonight, guys. I'm getting very tired. I had a long day of work today. Tomorrow it's gonna be another one, but I have Thursday off, so I should be able to stream later into the night tomorrow. And I will stream on Thursday as well. So let's talk to Eladan.
How can I be of service?
There he is.
How can I be of service?
My father has sent you to aid us. It is good that you have come. For we have made an unsettling discovery. It seems likely the missing rider is still somewhere within the wilderness of the Trollshaws.
Mind my words, traveler.
Shortly after Frodo Baggins and his company came to Rivendell, my father sent us to search for signs of the Nazgûl, 9 riders of the enemy. We found the bodies of the 8 horses downstream, but of the last 3 there was no sign. Of the last there was no sign. We searched further, but still found nothing. We travelled far afield, to lands to the south, and still found no sign of the fleeing rider. Only on our return journey did we find something hoof prints in the South Trollshaws. Far south of the road, there are many narrow valleys in that region. Nazgûl might be in there. The Nazgûl might lie there, sheltered from prying eyes, waiting for his time to strike. Journey far south to the road in the South Trollshaws, Sir, and seek out the missing rider. The ruins within these narrow channels have a fell reputation. Minas Agor. That place was called of old, and the Nazgûl may have sought it out for themselves. Alright. Alright, guys. Thanks for tuning in today. I appreciate you, as always. Thank you, Silver, for hanging out. Piero, Lord. Frontward. TC. And everyone else that stopped by for even a few minutes. Appreciate all of you. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your day, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye for now. All right, there we go.